out in the middle of the fight?
Yeah, I think I've injured my left arm, but I think I'm just more gutted because I've been out. And I just saw it and threw it, so it paid off, and that's kind of just what happens when I fight. Go with PFL and see what we can come up with, but I just beat the best girl that's out there out of any other division, so
In the world of rising female strikers, few names have exploded onto the scene with as much raw violence, speed, and promise as Shanelle Dyer, the undefeated British phenom many believe could become the biggest threat to Dakota Ditcheva's growing superstardom. Dyer fights with a predatory calmness, a cold confidence, and a destructive striking style that makes every one of her knockouts look like a scene pulled straight out of an action film. She is dangerous in every sense: long arms, quick reactions, vicious combinations, and a killer instinct that activates the moment she senses weakness. Born in London, England, Shanelle began her combat journey at the age of 9, choosing Muay Thai as her first battleground. There, she collected more than 100 wins and 27 titles, overwhelming opponents with wicked front kicks, explosive hooks, sharp elbows, and a pressure style that suffocated anyone standing across from her. Even as a teenager, Dyer fought with a ferocity beyond her age, landing kicks and punches with the intention to finish. Her highlight reels from those years show combinations that seem to come from every angle, leaving opponents confused, stunned, and often knocked out before they even understood what hit them. But her journey didn't stop with Muay Thai dominance. After suffering a close decision loss, Dyer decided to evolve. She embraced the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, sharpening her grappling fundamentals and learning how to turn defensive grappling exchanges into opportunities for brutal ground and pound. With her long reach, excellent leverage, and natural strength, her jab became one of her most effective weapons, snapping heads backward, disrupting rhythm, and forcing opponents into desperation. When rivals tried to wrestle her, she defended with balance and awareness that made takedown attempts look hopeless. Walking down her opponents like a stalking predator, she fired powerful right hands and nasty backhand strikes while never taking her eyes off her target. Every exchange showed her intentions clearly. She wasn't there to outpoint anyone, she was there to break them. Her front kicks were particularly brutal, stamping opponents in the face or chest with such force that even the crowd reacted with shock. Her ability to deliver kicks from odd angles made her unpredictable, and her opponents never knew whether a spinning elbow, head kick, or straight punch was coming next. Her breakout moment came when she pulverized an opponent against the cage, forcing the referee to step in as she unleashed a storm of punches and elbows. That performance announced her arrival in MMA with a clear message: a new knockout artist had entered the sport. But her true brilliance showed when she faced elite striker Veronica Ezer. From the opening moments of the fight, Dyer found herself tested. Ezer's technique and aggression put her in uncomfortable positions early, forcing her to dig deeper and adjust quickly. The redness on Ezer's lead leg showed how Dyer immediately started dismantling her base. Then came the moment that launched Shanelle Dyer into highlight reel immortality. Out of nowhere, she uncorked a spinning elbow that crashed directly into Ezer's skull. A brutal, devastating strike delivered with perfect timing. The crowd gasped, the commentators shouted in disbelief, and Ezer collapsed instantly. It was one of the cleanest spinning elbow knockouts ever seen in women's MMA, and it proved Dyer wasn't just powerful, she was creative, explosive, and fearless. Her reputation grew even faster after signing with the Professional Fighters League. Her PFL debut took place in Paris, France, where she met Luisa Cifuentes, an aggressive, tough fighter who had never been finished before. But Dyer didn't hesitate. She opened the fight with bomb-like kicks to the knees, smashing Cifuentes' stance and balance. She followed with combinations ending in body kicks that landed with a thud. At one point, she even swept Cifuentes' leg completely out from under her, sending her crashing to the canvas. In the clinch, Dyer showcased her Muay Thai roots with sharp knees and short elbows. When the fight transitioned to the ground, she used her BJJ training with surprising fluidity, maintaining control, defending submissions with ease, and striking from top position. She dominated every minute of the bout, her footwork sharper, her speed superior, and her punches significantly harder. In the second round, Dyer landed a monstrous right hand that made Cifuentes stagger into the fence like she had been electrocuted. The crowd erupted, expecting the finish, but Cifuentes somehow managed to survive. Even though the fight went to decision, anyone watching could see the gulf in skill, speed, and power between the two. But Shanelle Dyer's most unforgiving performance came in 2024, during the PFL Europe tournament, where she collided with Dakota Ditcheva, a fighter who entered with swagger, taunting, confidence, and an attitude she could not back up. Dyer didn't waste time teaching her the consequences of arrogance. Ditcheva's attempts at grappling failed instantly as Dyer shrugged them off. Moments later, Dyer's brutal low kicks crashed into Ditcheva's legs, chopping her stance apart like an axe striking a tree. The pace increased until a moment that felt like it came straight from an anime scene. Dyer unleashed a devastating head kick that detonated on Ditcheva's jaw, sending her crashing backward and collapsing immediately. The knockout was violent, sudden, and unforgettable. The crowd gasped as Ditcheva dropped like her lights had been switched off. That moment turned Shanelle Dyer from a rising prospect into a terrifying contender. Her next test came in September 2024 against Valentina Scatizzi, a fighter known for her toughness and experience against Dakota Ditcheva. This fight was a true measuring stick. Could Dyer handle someone durable enough to survive Dakota's power? From the first round, Scatizzi brought heavy pressure, throwing big shots and trying to bully Dyer against the cage. But Dyer fought with a level of composure far beyond her years. She used her kicks like a sniper, targeting Scatizzi's legs and body repeatedly. Her right hand punished Scatizzi every time she stepped forward. Even when the Italian fighter charged with aggression, Dyer answered with cleaner, faster, sharper strikes. In the second round, Scatizzi came out with even more fury, looking to decapitate Dyer with looping hooks and high kicks. Dyer, however, showcased her evolution by mixing in wrestling, snatching a perfectly timed single-leg takedown, and putting Scatizzi on the canvas. This moment proved she had far more than striking. She had rounded out her game. On the ground, she controlled position well, forced Scatizzi to work, and delivered calculated punches. Then, in a remarkable show of confidence, she allowed Scatizzi to stand again, ready to continue the violence on the feet. The fight became a back-and-forth war, with Dyer's offense steadily breaking down Scatizzi's legs, body, and spirit. A flying knee cracked Scatizzi's face. Another knee landed shortly after, shaking her again, but her chin refused to give up. It was one of the toughest fights of Dyer's rising career. Despite Scatizzi's granite chin and relentless pressure, Dyer's superior technique, striking variety, and cardio carried her through to win by decision. The fight displayed everything people needed to know. Dyer is not just a knockout artist. She is durable, disciplined, intelligent, and capable of winning long, grueling battles. Shanelle Dyer's rise continued as fans and analysts began recognizing that her combination of power, creativity, and composure made her one of the most dangerous young prospects in all of women's MMA. What made her especially frightening was not just her striking ability, but her cold confidence, never overreacting, never panicking, and never losing her focus, even when facing adversity. While many fighters break under pressure, Dyer absorbed challenges and used them to sharpen her instincts. Every fight seemed to add a new layer to her game, transforming her from a Muay Thai prodigy into a well-rounded martial artist who could dominate in long-range striking battles, close-quarter exchanges, and even grappling scenarios. Her ability to seamlessly mix attacks, switching from kicks to elbows to punches within seconds, made her unpredictable and difficult to read. She never wasted movements. Her footwork kept her out of danger even as she walked her opponents down. Every strike she threw had purpose, and every counter she delivered came with speed and conviction. By 2025, fans were already comparing her rise to Dakota Ditcheva's early career. But while Dakota's style relied on precision, range, and athleticism, Dyer carried an aura of controlled chaos, like a fighter who could explode at any second and end the match instantly. The MMA world began buzzing with one question: could Shanelle Dyer be the one to eventually stop Dakota Ditcheva? Dakota was undefeated, dominant, and widely considered the future face of the division. She had speed, length, accuracy, and an elite ability to read her opponents. But Dakota had yet to face someone with Dyer's aggression, creativity, and comfort in absolute chaos. Analysts debated constantly. On one side, experts argued Dakota's experience and polished striking would give her the edge. On the other, they claimed Dyer's unpredictability and pure knockout power could break Dakota's rhythm in a way no one else had. Dyer's highlight reel certainly supported that idea. Many of her KOs weren't just knockouts, they were moments where opponents were completely shut off, falling instantly without a chance to recover. Her spinning elbow knockout became one of the most replayed finishes in European women's MMA. Her head kick knockouts showcased her ability to generate deadly power, even from long range, and her ability to chop down legs with low kicks made opponents hesitant to plant their feet, disrupting their ability to punch effectively. Every time Shanelle stepped into the cage, fans knew something violent could happen at any moment. But beyond the highlight reels, her true strength lay in her mindset. She fought with the fearlessness of someone who had already faced adversity at a young age. She wasn't intimidated by records, reputations, or crowd expectations. She didn't let pressure affect her decision-making. She kept her eyes locked on her opponent with a predator-like calmness, reading their reactions and adjusting on the fly. That mental toughness was put to the test when she moved from amateur to professional competition. Every fighter tried to test her. Some tried to pressure her early, hoping to overwhelm her. Others tried to wrestle her, assuming her striking background would leave her vulnerable on the ground. But all of them eventually realized the same harsh truth. Dyer was prepared for everything. She wasn't just a striker anymore, she was evolving into a complete MMA fighter. When opponents tried to bully her, she outpressured them. When they tried to wrestle, she stuffed takedowns or reversed positions. When they tried to kickbox at range, she punished them with combinations that came faster and harder than they expected. Her win over Scatizzi proved her resilience and adaptability. Every time Scatizzi charged forward, Dyer answered back with something sharper and more destructive. When she needed grappling, she used it. When she needed striking, she unleashed it. When she needed patience, she showed it. By the end of the fight, Scatizzi's legs were bruised, her face was swollen, and her aggression had faded into exhaustion. Dyer walked out with a dominant scorecard victory and a crowd full of believers. It was after this fight that fans began saying out loud what many had quietly suspected. If anyone in Europe could eventually dethrone Dakota Ditcheva, it was Shanelle Dyer. The two had contrasting styles, Dakota's long-range sniping versus Dyer's explosive pressure, and that contrast made the potential matchup incredibly compelling. Dakota had the experience advantage, but Dyer had the kind of raw, fight-changing power that could disrupt even the cleanest technician. Dakota had the reach, but Dyer had the leg kicks to neutralize movement. Dakota had the jab, but Dyer had the spinning elbow that could punish predictable entries. Fans began imagining scenarios. What would happen if Dyer walked Dakota down and chopped her legs early? What if Dakota kept her at range and intercepted her with straight punches? What if the fight turned into a brawl? Who would win a pure striking exchange? Who would handle adversity better? The excitement only grew as both fighters continued dominating their divisions. PFL fans were eager for the day these two rising stars would eventually collide, believing it could become one of the greatest female striking matchups in modern MMA. Even though Dyer had more fights to go before earning a shot at Dakota, it was clear she was on the right trajectory. Each performance sharpened her reputation. Each knockout reminded the world that her power was not just hype. Her improvements in grappling and wrestling made her even more dangerous, and her confidence never wavered. Shanelle Dyer wasn't chasing fame, she was chasing greatness. With each victory, she carved her own path, stacking impressive performances and announcing herself as a legitimate future contender for the throne. As she continued rising, fans saw something special in her, a mix of raw talent, hard work, violent creativity, and mental strength. The MMA world thrives on stories like hers, young, hungry, and fearless fighters who don't just fight to win, but fight to dominate. Whether she eventually meets Dakota Ditcheva or not, one thing is certain: Shanelle Dyer is coming. She is coming for belts. She is coming for respect. She is coming to shock the world. And with the kind of knockouts she produces, the spinning elbows, the crushing head kicks, the explosive right hands, no one doubts that she has the potential to become one of the most dangerous champions the sport has ever seen.